Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Bowles, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh, we got a great show planned today. We're going to have a great time. Daniel's going to hop on here in a little bit with me. He's taking a Union 15. Just got finished with doing work, and then he did his show, and so yeah, he's going to take a Union 15, take a little walk, and get the blood circulating again in the legs. But oh my gosh, it's Friday. Can y'all believe it? I am excited. It's going to be a great day. It's already been a great day. It's up to us to make it a great day. We're looking down on grass. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome day too. And, I know one thing, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Woohoo. Finally got something planned out. Not that we haven't had anything planned out. I mean, we've done quite a bit. We've stayed busy, but yeah, going to take a little road trip. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But yeah, looking forward to that, and looking forward to just hearing from you guys and see what y'all are into here in a little bit. But before we get into all that, I just want to give Aaron Walls a big shout out to the Purple Walrus. Woohoo! Yeah, he he's rocking and rolling them hot dogs, man. Before long, he ain't even going to have a landscaping business. He's just going to be selling franchises on the dogs. And that's cool. I get the same. I knew him when. He's going to forget about all of us here on Turfs Up Radio, and he's going to just move on down there to Louisiana or wherever the hell he's wanting and talking about moving. And, you know, he's going to forget about all of us, y'all, one day. So, but no, I really don't think he will. I think he's going to send a corporate jet up to get us. It's going to be dressed out in a hot dog. I know it's going to be wrapped in a big old hot dog bun with some chili cheese on it and all that. So, yeah. Hey, think big, right? Think big, act small. That's it. So that's what he's doing right now, blowing it up. Oh. Yeah, he is. He's blowing them hot dogs up. Boy, he's giving us some positive motivation. A lot of us to think about the hot dog cart. Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon, right? But, sometimes the bandwagon looks good till you hop on, you know? I mean, that could be any business. It doesn't have to be the landscaping business, the hot dog business, the fill in the blank business. It sounds real good. You get everything going, everything assembled, and then, shit just don't go the way it's supposed to go. And, people, y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Boom. That's the truth bomb. So everybody wants on the bandwagon until it's time to get on the wagon and do a little pushing. And then, then it's like, oh, what have you done for me lately? So anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about what have you done for me lately and see how that all goes. But hey, want to give everybody a big shout out. We'll give Tabitha a big shout out. She's listening to us this morning. So, Tabitha, appreciate you tuning in. And we got old Mike and Seth listening to us too. But before we get into all that, man, I'm just curious what all you guys might be into today. I know Mike and Seth they got a little group project going. We're going to talk about them here in a little bit. But we're doing a little bit of mowing for Monday. A little bit. I don't know. I think we're not a whole lot. I mean, I think 8 or 10, 12 properties, maybe at the most. We're mowing ahead a little bit on that. But yeah, good morning, Seth and Mike, as they're working diligently. Mike sent me a picture of those guys. We're going to talk about you guys here in a minute for sure. And if y'all want to call in when I start talking about you, one of y'all feel free to do so, man. But yeah, y'all doing a great project down there, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So we're doing a little bit of cleanup work this morning, a little bit of weed control. Got a kill out. We're doing another kill out. We're doing our kill outs on onesies now, working them in as they come in. But big shout out to Katie and Kyle selling quite a few kill outs this week, and renovations, aerations, and whatnot. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully you guys have had good luck on that. But before, man, I'm just getting way ahead of myself. Getting way, way ahead of me. I need to slow down, take a breath, chill out, and see what we got coming in here. Let's see. Appreciate you guys shooting those texts in as always. We have a little video. So let's see. Yeah, I'm sure it's safe to play the video. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, Mike and Seth doing a little project together. Mike, uh, they're doing a. Let's just hop to it and talk about it. What the heck, you know? But nope, we're going to save it. We're going to save it. I decided we're going to save it. Just yay! Katie said she just got another one. Woohoo! Yeah. Heck, heck yeah! Another power seating one. You go, girl. So Katie's rolling them out this week. I think collectively as a team effort on our, we've put on probably 20 or so jobs this week. Some of them power seating. I think what 10 or 12 power seating aeration jobs, and which isn't a bad week, really. I mean, not for where we're at and what's going on. When I say where we're at, you know, end of August and just really the yeah, that's good. And we've put on some landscape work this week, some aeration work, some mowing. So it's been a pretty diversified week of putting things on. And we also got several funny stories to tell you guys. But nobody's told me what you're doing this weekend yet. Hell, I can't even remember if I asked you what you're doing. So, but before we get into all that, I got a little song here I want to play for you guys because I think a lot of us are feeling a little bit like this today. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station. Yeehaw! Let the good times roll. Dang on. I tell you what, I didn't realize y'all like that song so well. y'all blowing me up. So, yes, indeedy. Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you, Tabitha, for the idea on that. So, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So, got a lot of good guys hollering in on that one saying, yeah, perfect, perfect. So, there we go. Mike said he's got some great news for everybody. He said I actually did pretty good on a Powerball ticket, so I'm going to take my wife out this weekend. So nice and nice. So didn't win the big one, he said, but hey, got $400. So yeah, two numbers and one number away from 200K. Isn't that crazy? So congratulations, Mike Murphy. That's awesome, man. So sounds like you're all going to be the beneficiary of some contributions from the rest of us. So, and the big money's still sitting out there. Big money's still sitting out there. So, sounds interesting. Seth, I appreciate it, man. He said, Mr. George Jones, great song for today. And it is, man. It was, yeah, heck yeah. It is a good song. So I don't know. Y'all know me. I don't play much music, but we might have a song or two in the queue. So we'll see. If anybody's got any special requests, maybe just shoot me a text or something. I'll see if I can find it on my phone here. But Corey, congratulations. Yep. Yep. This is funny, but it's not funny, Katie and Daniel. My God, poor Corey. He said, I finally did my first kill out, but I'm almost sure I'm not going to get paid. But she'll be there. Let's see. But she'll be there with me. Oh, gosh. Also have a bake sale this weekend. So he's doing a bake sale this weekend. And I think he's joking about not getting paid because I think it must be his significant other since she's coming to the GIA. Yeah, that happens, man. You know, I mean, that's just, you guys know it. I know it. You women out there listening know it, sometimes things are just one way streets, and that's okay. It's all right. There ain't nothing wrong with nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Could you spell nothing? Is that like Nuttin? Nothing? or would that be an EN? Or I guess when it's not spelled right, you just spell it the way you want. You know, it's like poor Holly, my daughter. My God, when she was born, I spelled her name wrong. I told them wrong at the hospital. That's when they still loaded them all up into those little nursery things, and all the babies were laying there together. And my God, they rode Holly back into the room with Jane, and Jane was still like, feeling the effects of the birth, C-section birth, and she's like, "Oh my God, you didn't spell her name right." And I'm like, "Oh God, this ain't going as good as I thought it might." But anyway, hey, it was the effort that counts. That's what, you know. Jane was very forgiving. I will say that. But anyways, yeah. So I get it. But hey, it's going to be a big old college football weekend, man. The real kickoff. This is like week one. Last week, I think they said was week 0 or something with a few games. But I don't know how many of you guys are college football fans or not. But the reality of it is, it's rocking and rolling, and it's here. And thing is, Tab and I are going to see some really great friends down in Corbin, Kentucky. It's about 2.5 hours from Louisville, and looking forward to doing that. And they're not big football fans, so the bad part about that trip, and Timmy and Robin, if you're listening, don't take us the wrong way, is they're not big football fans. So we'll probably be out doing something else, which is good. That's why we're going to go see them. So get out of the Ville for a while and do a little something. And curious what you guys got going on this weekend. Mike's told us he won lottery. He's going to take his wife out. That's probably a good thing to do. Take a little bit of that fun money and get rocking and rolling. But Katie, I think she said she's going to a pool tomorrow. But I just really got to think about that, man. I don't know. But what do you think, Katie? Y'all be all right though. Y'all mean the sun's going to be out full blown, so it'll be warm enough. So that'd be good for their circulatory system, getting in cold water, right, Daniel?
I don't.
Don't people get in like cold bath, like those whatever they
They
call
do
them?
get in the cold, like cold plunge tubs. I don't know if it's good for circulation though.
Isn't it?
That's a good question. I think it would constrict your blood vessels.
So it'd have to push harder, right?
I guess it would be, that kind of thing.
But hell, I don't know. You know a zillion more things about that than I do. So I'm not even going to pretend to know anything about that stuff. But Katie was funny. She told me the other day when I said, "What y'all doing this weekend?" And she said, "I don't know for sure, but I know one day he's going to be in pajamas and on the couch and not moving." So is that still part of the plan? Duh. So 2 or
Oh
3
my God.
books over the weekend. Oh my God, I ain't read 3 books in 2 years. I wish I read more. I really, really do, Daniel. I know it would benefit.
You know you
You know.
can do it. You just got to do it.
Oh yeah, I can read. I mean,
No, I mean you
I,
can
I
like
can go to
if
the
you want to
second,
do it,
third
you
grade
just
level most time, but yeah, it's
do
like
you wish you read more because you want to do it or do you like
I just
because why
know
do
how
you say
smart
that?
people are that read.
But do you care like about that for yourself?
I would like to have a more diverse working knowledge on things. I don't even know how to explain it.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think that comes from reading.
Yeah.
It's like
Or any way that you expose yourself to new information. Now, reading's
yeah,
great, but we're also in the 21st century and you can watch a YouTube video on stuff too.
yeah.
You can learn a lot in 5 minutes and there's a great if you have kids and you don't know what Khan Academy is, you need to know.
What
It's a
is it?
great YouTube channel, mathisfun.com, but Khan Academy is a great YouTube channel where they cover any sort of basically school topic in very easily explainable or understandable
Yeah.
in a short way. Like I got through high school junior physics because of Khan Academy. I learned a lot of math because of Khan Academy. Um,
Really?
yeah, there's I'm pretty sure any kind of subject on there. So if you don't know how to do your kids' fifth grade homework or 11th grade, whatever, like hop on Khan Academy, type in, or hop on YouTube,
Is it
type
like
in,
CON Con Academy?
I think it's KAHN maybe, but I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I
But
thought
if
it was
you
like
type in
Aaron
like,
Ross, Khan Academy.
but if you type in like on YouTube, how do I do fractions? They're probably going to be one of the top couple videos, and like
Oh, okay.
anything that you type in how to do something for school, more or less.
I got you.
But
That's
for
pretty cool.
you, you can use that kind of same methodology. Okay, I just want to. I'm kind of interested in, you know, the French Revolution. So watch a quick 10-minute video on it. Then you have a little bit more of a working knowledge on
The French Revolution.
Napoleon or whatever.
I'll tell you what I do like Liars and Legends on TV. I have
Yeah,
learned a lot of history on that
yeah, and
for
that
real.
can spark a more interest in,
Like,
1800s America. So then just Google or YouTube, hey, any specific topic, 18th century or 19th century America or whatever, and then
yeah.
there you go. You got a million videos,
Yeah. Corey and Mike both sent the text, said audiobooks for sure then.
audiobooks. I listen to those as well, and
So, how do you listen to an audiobook without falling asleep, though? It's almost like a bedtime story, almost, it seems it'd be.
not even kind of. It's the
Isn't it?
same.
Not
No,
even.
it's the same way of listening to music or the radio or a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to fall asleep when you're interested in the topic,
Well, that's true. People don't fall asleep much listening to Prophet Time here on Turf's Up.
right?
So,
An audiobook can be boring if you don't care about the subject, but you're not going to
yeah,
read a book you don't care about the subject of.
that's true.
I mean, you're
That's
not in
true.
school anymore. You can choose what you want to learn about.
That's true. All right. I'll buy that. Corey said he listens to about 4 a week while he's mowing on
There you go.
audiobooks.
That's awesome.
Damn, we need to do that with our Profits Unlimited manuals.
Yeah.
Put them on audiobook. Katie'd be a great reader. You'd be a great reader. You got a nice voice.
I think Katie would be a good reader. You could do it.
Yeah, but I'd want to ad lib the text.
Fine, that's
That
fine. I'll just edit out the part that you ad libbed.
you know me, I get going on one thing and then
You just sit down and read it, though.
yeah.
You're not covering it in the presentation. You're just reading the book.
Oh yeah, I hear you. All right.
People like to hear the author's voice. They do. I've read a ton of audiobooks, and when I hear the author's voice, it makes me feel like I'm actually learning it from the source,
Oh,
which
okay.
is more powerful for me at least.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So anyway, speaking of the source, it's going to be a short day here for WLS. What do you guys got going today? I know Mike and Seth are out. We're going to try to bail out of here early today, like generally we do on Fridays. But know what? Caitlin's off today, I guess. Or
Yep.
yep, Caitlin's off, and
She switched off from
yeah,
today to Wednesday, so she could be off Friday.
I got you. So yeah, I'm going to take my little road trip this afternoon.
Going down today.
Yeah, going to
Nice.
leave here about noon, and
That's good.
and
Kind of a 2-day kind of thing.
yeah, get down there. We can't check in until this afternoon, but
Yeah.
Timmy and Robin are down there, so so we'll be all right. Uh, John said lunch. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a good day. It almost is time for our Union 15. Daniel took his Union 15 here a minute ago. Uh, Corey said technically Daniel's lying. He said he's not read any audio books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey,
True.
you go, boy. There
This is
you
true.
go. That's true, man. Hey, we just got to keep just the facts, just the facts. So, but anyways, hey, want to tell y'all a funny story, and this is, I guess, story day. Um, a few of them anyway, but I mean, hey, they're going to relate to all of our businesses. But Mike and Seth, who I know are listening to us, they're actually working together today on a project down there in southern Kentucky. And I thought it was really cool yesterday when Seth sent me a text of this huge pile of playground mulch. And he said, yeah, Mike's going to come over and help me with it. And then they sent me a video of, Mike and his tractor taking this playground mulch around and whatnot. But I think that's something we all can learn from each other, that, some competitors you don't feel a whole lot of love for. You've got them, I've got them, we've all got them. but you can make a lot of relationships like Mike and Seth have together. And I think Mike sent me something. I got to look here. Um, was pretty cool. Let me see. He said the way he met Seth was I sold him a used piece of equipment on Facebook 5 years ago.
Hmm.
And friendship in this industry is key to success. So, I agree 100%. I've got a lot of guys that we work with that are really stand up guys. Um, as far as competitors, they do just as good as job for us as we would do for them, and I think that's key to success, regardless of the size of your company, and maybe more importantly, based on the size of your company. Being smaller, the smaller you are, you have a good relationship with somebody that can help you do something. That's actually how I start working with Chris Kelty many, many years ago, because Chris had a ton of equipment, and I'm talking about like skid steers and tractors and things like that, and he does a lot of different type of work, but he made it easy for me to utilize his team to help our customers, and our customers weren't finding somebody else to not only do that work but then say, well, hey, we can do the landscaping for you, or the mulching, or the mowing, or blah blah blah, whatever other services may be. But so I wanted to give Mike and Seth a big shout out on showing the industry what it really is all about, and how you can help each other, and everybody really wins in that situation. I do believe that 100%. So, um, with that being said, let's take a short break. God, Lee, it's already 25 after 10. My goodness. Daniel, where's time going?
Who knows where it goes?
I don't know.
I
Where
think
does
there's
it go?
I think there's like a closet, just kind of organizes itself into like a towel closet.
Yeah, just boom, and there it is. It's in the cabinet and gone. Congratulations, Katie. Yay. Another one. Another single ops approval
Yeah,
coming in. Ta-da! Actually, they got the easy part uh, of the software. I mean, not the salespeople. But anyways, all right, let's take a short break. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station. Don't you go anywhere. And Aaron Walls tried going with us a couple times, and yeah, he got tricked out. Tricked out. So I don't know if Aaron will show back up again. I don't know. He got done like a dirty old dog. He took a pretty good though, Daniel. I'll say that.
I remember that occurrence.
Yep. Oh my God. So that's just but he took a good, man. Aaron, we love you. I love you, man. You know that. Do anything in the world for you. Speaking of Aaron, he's bidding on a nice big old fat job next week, or for next summer, I mean, next year. With one of the areas around him. So good luck with that, Aaron. I hope it ends up going well for you. I don't want to say what it is because somebody might sneak in there on him, but no. But no, hey, good luck with that, Aaron. It's going to be a good deal, and if you need any more help with it, I'd be happy to help you. Try to figure out, hey, where you need to be and how you need to get there, and
Might be
hey,
a good video for the profit circle. Actually, it's kind of tips on how to bid bigger.
bigger projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. Write that down.
Okay.
We'll do that. That will be a good one. But yep, I want to share a funny story with y'all. Last night, Katie's in the process of looking at homes, and not sure if she's going to buy a home or not, but looking, and if they see the right one, they're going to. We've all been through that. Any of you guys that are homeowners out there, you know how it is. You're looking around and you want something, but you're not forced into something, but just looking around to try to find something. And so last night we were at this house and looking at really nice house. It's got a little driveway issue getting in it, but I think we got a couple different resolutions to that. The home itself, very nice. It's like move in ready condition this home is. I mean, it's painted nice, it's got nice carpet in it, the outside's nice, just the whole, it's one you wouldn't have to, knock on wood, put a lot into. I know Daniel's had some weird experience with his and that looked nice and move in ready and all the things I was just talking about. But yeah, good deal. Seth would talk about that. So, but anyways, so while we're out there, we're out in the backyard looking. They're looking at the backyard and the deck and whatnot. This guy's mowing the yard next door, Daniel. And I've already shared this story with Daniel, but I got to act like I'm telling it to somebody. But the 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 good part about it was simply this, man. This guy's out mowing the yard, and so they reached out to talk to him, and what they did was kind of unique, if you will. The guy's like, "Yeah," he said, "I live down the street," and he says, "I cut several of these yards in here, and charge $50." And Katie said, "Oh, that's not bad, $50." And then he said, "Yeah, $50 a month. I cut their yard for him for $50 a month." And I was just like, "Damn, dog, how many yards you want?
Yeah, right.
How many yards do you want?" I mean, we could probably come up with three or four we'd let him have,
Three or four.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and because I mean, you. So anyway, he told us the story. He said, "No," he said, I don't." He said, "I just do this because I like it." He said, "I don't even have a trailer." He doesn't trim, he doesn't blow, he just mows. And so he just gets on his lawnmower, rides around the neighborhood. And this is an adult, you know. So I'm sure he's got another job, full time job, but he's just doing this at night. And he was on a brand new Cub Cadet, nice zero turn mower, is what he was riding. And he said, "Yeah," he said, "I normally do it for free for everybody." He said, "But I just bought this new mower, so I'm charging them $50 a month till I get it paid for." So ain't a bad idea. He likes mowing. He's just mowing, no trimming, no blowing.
Yeah,
See you, Derek.
do what you want.
No, yeah. And so he
What you
gets to
like.
do what he wants. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not a bad deal. Would we figure out maybe about 4 years and he'll have it paid for,
Yeah,
knocked out in interest or whatever,
yeah.
give or take on the purchase price, you know. But Mike said there's a nice neighborhood in Bowling Green that has one of those guys. Everybody gets sticker shock when they go to somebody normal or
Yeah.
professional, and
Yeah.
they would,
Right. Once you're used to something for $50 a month, I mean, it's hard to
I mean,
reset your mind on actual pricing.
and I'm not making fun of the guy. I mean, obviously he's just doing it for fun,
Yeah, if he wants to do it
you
for
know.
fun, that's all,
But like I was telling Tab last night when we were going to look at another house after we left that one with Katie, I said the bad part about it is he's taken 7 or 8 yards off the market for a regular service. That's the
possibly.
bad side. Or
I think in a way, yes, but let's just say even half of those would be willing to pay $50 a week. So, you know, 3 yards, you know. So
yeah,
that's just that's one of those things that's kind of like it just is what it is, more or less.
yeah,
I don't think it's really. I think it's a great thing for him if he's getting to do what he wants to do. It's a great thing for the people that are doing as long as they're getting what they want out of him. And
yeah. I mean, it works out good for everybody.
yeah,
I don't want to dish the guy and talk bad about it. We ain't gonna do that because obviously, he's not he's not in it like that. You
right.
know,
Yeah,
but God, it's not a bad idea to think of how to get your equipment paid for.
yeah.
You know, so. But I had to share that story with you guys because when he said $50 and Katie's like, "Oh, that ain't bad." And he said, "Yeah, a month." She's like, "Sign us up if we buy this house.
Yeah.
Sign us up." But anyways, funny story, funny story. But Corey said they probably couldn't get him to stop, so now they just pay him. So
That's funny.
might be some valid, and that might be valid in that as well, to say the least, Corey. But
I guess what did he do? Maybe take his total monthly
payment,
payment divided by the customer.
no, I guess I didn't ask. You know, Sherry's like, I can't believe he didn't go up to him and talk to him about Profits Unlimited. And I'm like, it
It's not the
wasn't.
right.
He ain't that
He's not the
guy.
niche. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the guy. He ain't doing this for money.
Yeah.
He's just doing this to
It's
do
kind of
it.
like Forrest Gump at the end, whenever he wins or gets all the money from Apple or whatever it is. He's like, now I didn't have to work anymore. Now I just mowed this whatever for free or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's
Some people
kind of
just want
fun.
something to do that's not sitting on the couch watching
Yeah,
TV. Some people buy $6,000 TVs and sit there and watch it. So why not buy $10,000 mower and
go
sit on it and watch the grass or
get a
whatever?
little bit of exercise anyway.
Be
Got
outdoors.
to be a little more therapeutic for your body to be outside
Yeah.
doing something versus couch potatoed up. So yeah. So, anyways, just curious what you guys are doing for Labor Day too, from a work standpoint for you guys. Whether it's just you or if you got a bigger company, how do y'all handle Labor Day? Y'all working today for Labor Day? I know we do that some years, depending on what kind of condition the grass is in from a mowing perspective. For our mowing accounts. Like I said earlier when I started the show, I think we're mowing just I don't literally 8 or 10 or 12 something, not nothing much. But but sometimes if grass is really fired up and growing well, we'll mow them today instead of Monday because and then sometimes we've even worked on traded days. We do that sometimes. We'll say, hey man, let's take off Friday and we'll work Monday. But we weren't in a situation where we needed to do that this year, so we didn't do that function of it. But working around holidays can be challenging sometimes. Um, can be. Let's see. Look at this. Oh my God, Corey, you're not going to believe it. This is really coincidental. Corey said anniversaries on the 3rd. We pick a different state every year. We leave Monday. We're going to Maryland this year.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, here you go. Ready for this one? Mike said our ninth anniversary is on the 3rd. So we're going to take as much time off as I need. LOL. But I hear you. Oh, hockey guy, you'll be all right. So you and Corey share an anniversary. That's kind
I
of
feel like
neat.
this might
I
have
hope
come
you
up
guys
before,
have
but
a
I can't
great
really
time.
remember.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I hope you guys really enjoy your anniversary. Love each and every one of them, man. I hope y'all got 100 more of them. That's all I'm gonna say to that. I hope you got 100 more, or I hope you got more than that if you make it that long. You know, you never know. I was lucky enough to get 38 of them with Jane. So you take advantage of each and every one of them. I don't know how a girl put up with 38 anniversaries with me, but she did it. So, oh my God, that's funny. You guys, I appreciate y'all. I really do. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Seth said, I don't have an anniversary, but I'm taking off Monday. And you should. You really should, man. You should take the time off. And for you guys that have employees, we're not going to get too serious with this today. But coming up with a how do you decide who gets paid, who doesn't get paid? We're going to do a video in the Profit Circle. We'll have that on something that we utilize here at WLS. It took me several years to figure out, what was fair for everybody. And when I say fair for everybody, everybody, for people that knew they were supposed to come to work, those that came to work sometimes, and those that came to work before and after a holiday to get holiday pay, which uh, that was early on in our days because somebody told me that's how you do it. And that was the dumbest shit we ever did, I'm going to tell you. because you get a guy that can't come to work regularly otherwise, but can make it before and after the holiday to get the free day. So then what they prove to you is they can come to work if they want to. That's what they really prove to you. And but I don't suggest you do it that way. But if it's working for you, keep it going. That's right. Keyword is fair. You know, Kyle came up with not just on holiday pay, but he came up with an idea, Mike, that we don't treat everybody equal, but everybody's treated fairly. And when he first came up with that, I had to think about that a little bit, honestly, Daniel. You know, but there is validity in that. To
Yeah.
treat people fairly, but not necessarily equal. You know, and because people aren't equal. Some people are good at bitching about everything and still doing a good job. Some people are good about doing a job and not bitching about it. Some people are good about just coming to work, doing their job, going home. Everybody's good at something, you know. Um, but the reality of it is, too, sometimes people get a little overwhelmed. Um, and you got to understand that as a business owner, too. And that's a completely different topic than what we're talking about right now on holiday pay. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you guys are taking off. I'm glad to hear Mike and Seth are working on that project together. Speaking of which, you guys, how close are y'all getting done down there? Let me know so we can give you a shout out on that as well. So, but it's awesome to work in unison with somebody, to say the least. And I think our phones finally started working again. When I say phones started working, finally getting some good leads rolling in here. Um, but we have, like I told you guys before, and we're still doing it. We're still doing some old school notifications out there, you know, taking and when I say that is, taking flyers out and going into paper boxes and doing some the old way. And it's panned out really, really good for us so far, as far as, getting some leads and then turning those leads into some sales. And so we'll continue to do that, through the fall a little bit. But uh, I hear you, Mike. That's funny. Mike said they're a little less than halfway done. Mulch pile doesn't seem to be shrinking. So I know you guys had a pretty good stack there going. Um, Everyone's not complaining. Let's see. Corey said on deployment, Daniel, this is interesting. We worried about the ones not complaining, meaning they had given up hope. That
Hmm.
makes sense. Yeah. And that certainly is a very valid point as well. Yeah. That is really a very good point. Yeah, when somebody gets too quiet. So thanks for that input on that for sure. But something I wanted to talk about too was, and it seems like I'm sharing a few of these with y'all recently, but we had a customer call yesterday and canceled that's been with us. I didn't look up the time frame, but probably 20 years. And it's been a while, if not 20, close to it. But the frustrating point for me on the whole cancellation is that she felt like she had to cancel. That's number one. It is a fertilization and weed control account that also spent some money occasionally on mowing, not mowing, but mulching, hedge trimming, some type of landscaping work, and occasionally some aeration and overseeding, power seeding. But, you know, she called and said, I mean, I'm not looking at the email, so I can't tell you exactly, but she called and said something to the effect, or emailed and said, hey, I really hate to do this. Why? And they don't y'all hate when they start off with this? I hate to do this. You know, I hate to do this. But she said, my yard's in really bad shape this year. My neighbor's yard, here we go with the neighbors again. Y'all know how I feel about that. My neighbor's yards all look good, and mine's looking really bad. And, times are tough right now and money's tight. So we just decided not to spend the money on the yard. Well, first of all, are times tight and money tight, or is it the yard's bad? And really, are the neighbors' yards really that good? I can answer the neighbor's yard. Probably not. I ain't looked at it, but anytime somebody says, "Oh, the neighbor's yard," mine's the only bad one in the neighborhood. And I literally walked a guy next door one day and I said, "If you don't mind, walk over here with me. I'm going to show you. This guy's got the same stuff in his yard that you do." And he took it very well. I will say that because I presented it professionally. You know, Standing away and looking at a yard, it looks green and it looks okay, you know, but when you're in a yard, it looks different a lot of times. I mean, that is the reality of it, you know, but it's just sometimes it's the frustration that comes along with, "Hey, Matt, Kyle got a question for you." Matt, he changed shirts. he, Matt had an experience this morning. The hose came off of the backpack and got him wet. So he went and got another shirt. Our regular uniform shirts are in another building next to us here with our friend. So he went and got an older shirt from upstairs, and we didn't have his size, and he was kind of squished in it.
Medium.
Yeah, it was a medium. He said, "Damn, I've gotten fat." but but anyway, yeah, he found him. He's got a Profits Unlimited shirt on. He got one of those that we give out at the expo. So, but anyway, I lost my whole train of thought. Talking about the lady with the canceled. What do you all think? I know we got several of you guys listening that never text, but for you guys that do text a lot, text me and give me your all's opinion on that. Is it a combination of all of it? What do you think, Daniel? I say it's a combo of all.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of everything kind of mixing in, but I mean,
I'll eat some of it.
I think it's a little bit um it's like, I don't want to I'm kind of in a similar in a sense situation kind of to where I don't want to with my water thing. I don't want to continue to pay this company for no results.
Right.
I would be glad to pay on maybe twice as much as I have for results, but I'm not going to continue even if I had the money. I'm not going to continue to pay you to get
Not
no
getting
result.
what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, I get that side of it too. That's why I said some of it is on us, if you will. I'll own some of it. Like, that, yeah, okay, maybe, yeah, you do have weeds in your yard. You do have crabgrass, but, you know, and when you tell people why, they think they're excuses,
Right.
you know,
And I think that's
but
where
doesn't
getting
make,
ahead of it a lot of times,
which,
I think we do a good job of. But for those listening who don't, getting ahead of, okay, I know it's been rainy or whatever. I know these problems are going to start popping up or showing up. So let me get ahead of it with my newsletter, with my social media, and say, hey, be on the lookout for
yeah,
these things occurring. So then it's like, oh, well, I pre-warned you. Maybe then you're more likely to believe it as a true reason and not see it as an excuse.
right. And I think that is the great idea for you guys that aren't doing that, and it doesn't have to just be with lawn and lands, or fertilization and weed control, you know. I mean, the thing is, let's see, how often does she call and complain? It's valid. Other than that, I think it's finances, and that's it. I mean, it could be finances, part of it too. When you are a little more budget conscious, if you will, then you want to, like Dan, to your point, Daniel, you want to make sure you're getting bang for the buck.
Yeah, getting what you're paying for
You
in a
know,
sense, or what you
yeah,
think you're paying for.
yeah, and so I understand it. But what we did go back in her history and look is when's the last time? she actually did any aeration, overseeding, or power seeding, something to help the lawn. And what was that, Katie? 5, 6 years, I think, wasn't it? It wasn't in our new software. So, and that's 3 years. So, and we couldn't see anything back another couple of years, actually in the physical file. And yeah, we still keep a physical file for you guys that want to laugh at that. But, and I'm sure as soon as I get out of here, that'll never happen. But our physical files will disappear. but, but yeah, so it's been best we can recollect or remember on it about 7, 8 years since she's done any seeding. So that in itself is problematic, you know. So, but the last thing she wants to hear is you got to spend more money,
Yeah.
you know.
That's probably potentially even more frustrating and could maybe lead to more negative feelings than just saying, okay, you know, hopefully things work out. And if it doesn't, come back.
Yeah, and here's the final kicker to this story, and we'll move on. The final kicker to this story is her mom and dad and my mom and dad were really good friends. Now everybody's dead from that end, you know. So, but I know that's why she said I really hate to do this in her email to Katie.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about the family relationship, but I understand that. You know, I mean, and we'll respond in kind and says, "Hey, you know, we're really sorry you didn't get the desired results that you just wanted, but you know, hope there's no hard feelings, you know, and if we can help you, call us back. We'll treat her just like any other client, you know, and hopefully we'll get her back. But, you know, to Kyle's point the other day when we were all talking about this, not her case in particular, just in general, people that cancel or complain or whatever. First of all, they're generally a valid point in their minds, at least. But secondly, we're a and you are too that are listening to us. We're a lawn maintenance company. The key word is maintenance. If we're only maintaining what's there and you're not adding mulch and them wondering, like Craig's customer, for an example, well, why can't you do something with my weeds? Well, because you won't let us use chemical control. We can't. You won't let us use mulch to help try to gain some control. You know, some of the responsibility does go back onto the owner. I am 100% on that bus as well. You know, we can help, we can suggest, we can educate, we can do all those things that we really try to do here. And Katie and Daniel do an outstanding job of that for our customers because, like you said, Daniel, we really do try to get ahead of a lot of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
I think the general knowledge of that whole process though to the consumer is over their heads. They don't understand it, they don't know it. So the more that we can inform and educate, generally speaking, and then actually specifically as well, meaning I don't know how we could implement this, but okay, it's been X amount of years since this person's done any seeding or whatever. So let's somehow figure out how to contact them on a mass or a individual level
yes,
with information that says, hey, you know, it's been X amount of years since you've had this service done. Did you know that this is a crucial step in the process of maintaining or whatever a yard that is less, you know, less weeds and more
right,
what
more desirables.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know, more
yeah,
lush yard with less weeds or something. And doing that on a basis, like I said, both generally to everyone, but also okay, somehow we get triggered that this person hasn't done any seeding in any way in X amount of years, so then they get targeted specifically.
yeah.
I don't
But
know how that would potentially be
and I mean,
looked at.
generically, you could almost do the education from a standpoint. You know, have you aerated and overseeded your lawn in the last 3 years, or two
Yeah.
year, or, and touch base on it that way. But to your point, you could make it a whole lot more personal if you said, hey, you haven't aerated your yard since 2019.
Yeah.
You know, we last aerated your yard,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's a really good point too, to key in not just now's the time for aeration, but have you aerated in. Goes back to my mom used to say it all the time. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and that could be an educational opportunity, for us. Kind of like that guy the other day that called in that we took as an educational opportunity. We talked about him Wednesday on the show, you
Right.
know, uh, what we learned from that, So
Yeah.
there's always something to be learned.
Yeah.
But hey, on a positive note, we got an email this morning from one of our customers that went out to do some pruning and trimming for, and she said the two guys who are cleaning up my yards, she's technically got a couple of them, are doing a terrific job. They deserve praise. That
Nice.
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So you go from being the heel to being somebody's hero.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something to be reckoned with too. So you got somebody mad at you, you got somebody really satisfied with you. Two different completely uh, services, but this particular lady's been with us a long time too, and she expects and knows she's going to get exceptional service from us, but still took the time to say, "Hey, they're doing a terrific job. They deserve praise." So that's cool. Makes you feel good. It's going to make them feel good if she didn't go out and tell them,
Yeah.
because we always print these out and show them to the guys when they get back. And but immediately I turned the email back around and said thanks, and would you mind giving us a 5-star review? That's a great opportunity to get those reviews. So
Yeah.
uh, wanted to thank her for that for sure. So let's see. John says, had a lady, John, this evidently happens. See, it happens all over the country. He's in Pennsylvania. I had a lady complain about weeds after not being able to do anything to make her happy. I told her to read the Bible and start in Genesis. I can, I guess there's point to that for sure. So I apologize for my ignorance on the Bible, John. That is exactly where I was talking about earlier about I need a little more diverse knowledge, just working knowledge on stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely. We can only do what we can do. So, oh, David Bowling, I wonder if he's listening to us. He'd sent me a text. Are you leaving early today? Yes, I am. So he's out working hard. He's doing a good job in his transitional time again, to say the least. We need to take another break. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock, Daniel. So I don't know. Let's stay on for a minute. We won't stay on too long because I got quite a few things to do before I go. But anyways, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more profit time. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe this weekend. Don't drink and drive. If you want to drink, let somebody else drive or call an Uber or do anything other than drinking and driving. The risk and reward just doesn't match up. And I'm not trying to be that guy. Don't hear me saying that, because I like to have my fair share of fun. But let's be responsible. Let's think smart, and let's I'll come back to it on Tuesday. So you guys have a great day, great weekend. Appreciate you listening to us here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. And remember, profit is not a dirty word. We'll see you next time.